get why they're going this way now. So that they
I'm
can
like
see
in front
me.
of you. Yeah, in a weird way.
Weird.
Yeah.
We're going to have to fix that.
Hey guys, welcome back to a new episode of the Matty Chymbor podcast. Things might look a little different because I am not by myself. I think this is the first time in all of my social media, life. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. That I've typically I'm by myself, whether it's
loser.
I know, whether it's me by myself or me with another version of myself. But today, Matty Chymbor podcast, we're breaking new ground, and we have the beautiful, lovely, sexy Mandy Martino, who is also my girlfriend.
It'd be weird if I wasn't after saying that.
Welcome to the Matty Chymbor podcast. I'm excited to have you on. I think it's fun to, you're a wonderful comic, and but I want to just talk to you as my girlfriend. I think the people want to know who you are. I mean, she's a great comic, but I think, who am I? I mean, this is the first time people get a clue to, who the F I am.
Some people are Googling who is Matty Chymbor's wife. And
I know.
I want to know that too.
Her name's Diane. She lives in Fargo, North Dakota.
Oh, shit, Diane. Good taste.
Well, so let's save them all the time and energy from, wasting their time Googling. Google's fake.
Is it?
Did you ever Google your name?
I mean, yeah, I'm a narcissistic LA people. No, I'm not a narcissist.
You've never Googled
yet.
your name?
Yeah.
What do you like to Google? Do you think you're a good Googler?
I think any girl is a good Googler. We can find anyone's ex. Give us 5 minutes.
Oh, so you're doing X.
Well, that's what, girls are good at Googling.
I think when you're looking for somebody's ex, correct me if I'm wrong, the first is social media. Or do you girls have this new? Because, I mean, as a guy, I think that's what you would do, but is there this secret portal that you're looking through?
No, it's social media. One click leads to another click, and 3 wine glasses later, you got him.
And then you're buying underwear and more things off of Amazon.
Amazon ads have been getting me really well lately.
I mean, Amazon ads in general are just kind of ridiculous, but
Amazon ones, they know.
Have you ever had the instance where the ads, it's something you thought, and then you're like, how did you know?
Yeah, you haven't said it out loud.
You haven't said it out loud, and then you're like, how do you know I'm interested in ADHD medication?
It's true.
Scary.
And to correct myself, I meant Instagram ads, not Amazon ads.
Oh. Or just, I meant where are the, I guess Instagram, TikTok. I was talking TikTok. Let's just say internet ads for the most part, I think.
I had an old joke that was one of my favorite jokes that I don't do anymore. That was about Facebook ads.
Really?
Before Instagram was even a thing. Maybe I should bring it back.
You were doing a Facebook ads joke before Instagram came out?
Or I guess before Instagram was really in.
I just lifted and showed my whole stomach.
He's trying to get the views out.
There's nothing more disgusting than someone's shirt coming up not on purpose. That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Taking a hoodie off in public and your just whole titties and gut fall out, and you're just like, should I just leave my head in the hoodie?
I think the girl version, that happens to us too, but the girl version is trying to get your sports bra off in the gym locker room, and you're just completely stuck. And you're just trying to decide, do I breathe and wait a second, or do I pull my back so I'm not awkwardly naked anymore?
It's the sweat that's catching it.
Oh, it really is terrifying.
So wait, I'm sorry. What are the ultimatums are? Do you keep trying, or do you wait to dry off?
Do you take a breather so you can do this slowly and more accurately, or do you just rip it off and maybe pull your back?
Or have you ever asked for help?
No, and I don't think I ever will.
Really?
No. Just
what piece of clothing do you think would not be weird to ask for help from a stranger?
Not be weird.
Yeah, if you're having trouble with an article of clothing in public and you're like, I need a stranger's help, what do you think the least bizarre piece would be?
Bra strap.
So what would you say?
Excuse me, man. Oh, woman. And then they run, and I'm like, just kidding, come back, my bra strap is broken, I can't reach it, please. I'd go really awkward, honestly.
So they break?
Well, they get too long. I've had you tighten my bra straps.
Oh, they get low. So you would have a stranger
tighten my bra strap.
Tighten your bra strap.
If I had to choose one item.
If you picked a guy, he'd be like, okay.
And I'm like, why is it looser?
I know. He's like, tighten it. They even take it off.
Yeah, no, tighten the bra strap. What would you choose?
I don't know. I mean, I think you ever like go to put a backpack on while wearing a coat and it gets stuck on the bulky sleeve? I would be like, can you just yank it?
Your backpack? Oh,
Like if you're wearing like a bulky jacket and then you try to put a backpack on and for some reason like the backpack or the jacket like material gets like because you tighten the backpacks to you naked and then you try to put a jacket on or then you put it over a jacket and it gets stuck. I would probably it's like football. I don't know if you didn't play football growing up.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But it's the same thing with the bras when you're wearing pads and you try to put the jersey on, it gets clumped up in the back.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing.
Same thing.
So girls are like men.
We're the
who play
same.
football.
Exactly.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it is.
You're a big sports girl. You were big into sports growing up in high school.
Yeah.
And this, I don't know. I mean, I knew you played lacrosse.
Field hockey.
I mean, field hockey and
kidding.
lacrosse.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
One's just sticks up here, one's a stick down there. It's very different.
How dare you?
That's funny.
Yeah, lacrosse. Hold on, my hair is driving me crazy. Yeah, I played soccer from elementary school to 9th grade. And then I did travel soccer all throughout middle school. And then high school, I switched to lacrosse.
I think soccer growing up, I mean, the best part by far was just at the halftime eating orange slices.
Oh, my God. Parents' snacks.
Remember when kids were good back then? It was almost like, what are you doing? I was a part of the group that would just fuck around. I feel like you were by far like the competitive child.
Oh, yeah.
Like you were a forward in soccer.
Yeah.
And you would score goals. I was the kid on defense who would... Me and my friend we would fake trip on the ball.
What?
Like,
during a real game?
Practice real game. We would go run and we'd go to pretend kick it and then fall.
You just didn't care to win?
I mean, we did, but then it's like back then you're just like, I'm here to eat orange. Which you should respect as a Florida girl.
I do respect that, but that wasn't my favorite halftime snack.
Yeah. But you're a competitive person.
Yeah.
I can tell. I can mean, we're on a party bus down to Temecula or San Diego, like the wine country. And remember you guys got like drunk and we're doing the relay race back and forth on the bus.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
And I can just tell by her demeanor and the other girls, I go, she was competitive growing up. Because she was just bulldozing these like girls who were like, we're going to run back and forth. And Mandy's like, I'm going to fucking win.
I did win.
You did win. But you were like bodying people. And I was like, you were athletic.
That's so funny.
That's good.
I talk about it a lot that I hate not being able to hit people anymore.
Like in a controlled sports environment or physically assault?
In a controlled sports environment.
Yeah.
How do you take that away from someone?
I mean, it's fun. I can tell if I was a girl, you would be superior to me. Or if you were a man, I'd be like, okay, dude, chill. Like, I know how to handle being around people like you, like, as far as, like, sports go, because you're just, like, really into it. And then I'm kind of, like, I think a little more before the contact, whereas I think you think after the contact. Does that make sense?
That's spot on, but I'm not, like, competitive to the fact, like, I'm a sore loser or would ruin my day.
No, I don't think you're competitive like that, but I think you're competitive, like you enjoy running into people, like for me, like I'd be about to hit somebody in football and like right before I'd hit him, I'd be like I would kind of like run the numbers in my brain and I'd be like, no. And I feel like you would just be like, like just
spot on.
And smokes, not like in a very dumb way, but like that's what it takes to be a good athlete though. Because I would watch footage. You ever watch footage of yourself playing sports?
Yeah, it's fun.
What did you ever it's like, was it weird? Because I know like we can listen to our voice. Did you like it? Like, what did you think?
Now if I see it, like old footage, I'm like, wow, she was so skinny.
There you go.
Like my arms are so small. That's what you meant?
I guess like for me, for example, me watching myself play football on tape when my coach would show it is equivalent to most people hearing their voice. You're like, ew, I sound like, I'd be like, that's what I look like. Like, I'd be like this. Like I wouldn't really commit to the hitting and all that. So that's why, I mean, I don't miss the hitting part. I miss the competition and winning. I don't miss, me looking like I just look confused and feminine. Like I was good, but I was like more of a,
Do you have that footage?
I think at my mom's house.
All right, we're going to see that.
Yeah, okay.
No, in lacrosse, the only footage, you wouldn't watch footage with the coach. It would just be my dad's VHS.
Right. Oh, because he would film it.
Yeah.
And they went to all the games.
Of course.
Right. Was he a competitive? Like, were your parents like the loud parents, though?
They were just supportive parents. They weren't like the aggressive, like yelling, like whose parent is that?
Really?
But I was never, see, the thing that sucked, and which I think makes me helpful with stand-up and kind of why I'm probably doing this, is I was always naturally good without trying, but I was never the best.
Okay.
And I feel like that now.
In sports, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To where it's like, when you're naturally good at something, sometimes it hurts you. Because you don't want, like, then you're like, you don't want to even try more because you're like...
Because you feel like like you're like coming in and you're like, well, I'm going to be good at this. Mm-hmm. But you haven't gone through the lumps. Like when we're in stand-up, not many people, I don't think any people really get that liberty unless they kind of get looped into like the popularity. It's cool. Or they have like a thing, which I mean, nothing against them, but I feel like in stand-up, nobody like just pops in and is just like murdering. I think maybe they're comfortable on stage, but sports doesn't translate besides our just work ethic.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like always never feeling like the best. And that I kind of contradicted myself though, because it's like you had to work harder. But now it's like I got to see that being good at something and not working harder, you only stay at a certain level, which we see all the time in stand-up. So it's like to get to the next level, even if you're good at it, that's not enough.
Right.
I don't know.
I would cheat in stand-up if I can get further along.
If your parent was the coach in stand-up?
I would cheat somehow. I was never a cheater, but in stand-up, I'm like, I would do something to just get ahead.
I cheated in school.
We think about, I got caught cheating in high school once, and it was the high school football coach that caught me. Or he was like the freshman coach, and it was a final in his class. He was a history teacher, and I remember went to walk out the room, and I just went to take out I had like a bright pink cheat sheet for some reason, and then as he walked back in, we locked eyes, and then I just scooted off the desk, and he just turned around and walked out, and I was like, if that fucker comes back in.
Why was it bright pink?
Because I don't know. I wasn't thinking.
That was not a good choice.
That's just like when you're that age, you're just like, oh, making mistakes you're like looking back, you're like, what the fuck was I thinking? But sports are done though.
Yeah. You did football and baseball.
I know. Not anymore though.
When did you transfer from football to baseball?
From fall to spring.
I guess was college just when you stopped doing football?
And then I played baseball in college.
Only baseball?
It's weird now. I'm not competitive. Like sports to me now, you see me play softball. I kind of like care. I don't care.
But he is very competitive with himself.
That in my brain, there's a huge competition. And guess what? There's the major leagues of just like,
It's like your videos. There's just multiple of you. Competing with yourself.
Screaming at myself. I have anger issues, but they're only to myself. What is that called?
It's called polite anger. He's never mean to me or anyone else.
No. I literally feel like when I freak out, and I know you're the same. I mean,
We have our moments.
I feel like a bubble forms around me, and I'm just angry in that bubble. Mm-hmm. Like I'm not a person who's like, yeah, I get pissed off. I mean, we get pissed off at people in public. I think that's normal. Yeah. But I get pissed off for like shit where just dumb things.
Nothing pisses me off more, which you've done it a lot the last 2 days. I do it a lot all the time. When you hurt yourself. Oh my God. It's so unnecessary. Like when you hit your head on the fridge yesterday and you bit your lip today.
I'm bleeding in my mouth right now.
I'm constantly running into furniture.
Yeah. I mean, no, it pissed me off because I'm like, I hold myself to a standard where I'm like, mistakes are why people like get really hurt.
I know.
Like me biting my lip is equivalent to me falling down the stairs and dying. Where I'm like that, maybe not biting aspect, but like if you bump your head into something, like I'm like, okay, that time it wasn't bad. But that act of not being aware of your surroundings isn't that insane to think about? That act of not being aware of your surroundings can result in you just banging your head and being like, oh, I'm stupid, or you doing that, missing a step and falling down a flight of stairs.
Yeah.
And I know this is like a very telltale symptom of mental health disorders where I'm thinking of but I'm not fearful. I'm not like walking on eggshells, but I get mad at myself when dumb things happen because I'm like, you fucking idiot.
That's why I get mad. I have a giant bruise from the other day when I hit my hip on that wall. It's huge.
When was the last time you got really hurt? Like maybe not really hurt, but like equivalent to like bumping into a wall.
How about when I dressed the bed the other day?
Yeah, what the fuck was that? I walk out of the goddamn. I'm in here doing work. She walks out. She starts crying. I'm like, what happened? She's like, I fell, and I'm like, off what? Or like, how? She goes, I don't know. And then I'm like, what do you mean? Okay. And then she's crying. I'm like, okay, like, you know.
I hurt myself.
And know what pisses me off though is I'm out there doing work one day. She's in here doing a podcast. And then I hear more details of the story that you didn't tell me when I asked what happened. She's like, I was standing on the bed trying to make it. She's like, sometimes when I make the bed, I stand on it and then I'll fall with the blanket. I'm
No,
like,
I don't fall with the blanket. I go like that and then I jump off the bed.
okay, well, guess what? That time you fell with the fucking blanket.
I didn't fall with the blanket. I did the blanket. Blanket's done. And then I jump off the bed to then get the comforter and then do the same thing and get back on the bed. But this time, after the sheet jumping off the bed, I flew off the bed and fell into.
Do you realize that
something.
could have been you falling off the side of a building? Just that lack of awareness in your surroundings.
I think the spring was just really big in your bed.
I want to know what happened.
Me too. I blacked out.
This is the shit I think about where she can't even make like recollections of her making a bed and how she fell off. And then people like have to like recite what happened in a police report.
Right?
You're like, isn't it insane? Like when you're really in the moment, you're just like, you can't remember shit.
Total blackness.
Like we think like, oh, I'd remember license plate numbers. You're like, bro, I'll forget my name. Like you ever, like sometimes I'll test myself and a car will drive by and I'm like, okay. I do weird tests to myself all the time like this where like I'm like, okay, hypothetically right now that car just shot somebody. They drive by. I have to remember their license plate number. They drive by. I'm like J5 and then I start running like I'm an accomplice.
This is what you think about while driving?
No, if I'm just like on the side of the road walking or like wherever I am, if I'm in a car, I'm like, okay, I have to remember that license plate number. Like you can't do it. I've never been able to do it.
I just know mine.
I did give a police report once.
Really? Why?
Me, my stepbrother, my two stepbrothers were driving. My family used to have a beach house, very Connecticut of us. And we were driving from a card store back to the beach house. And we were on the road, like it goes Ocean Houses road. So like, you know, that road that's like, it's like a neighborhood road. The speed limit is like 20 miles an hour. Long story short, we're driving. And this kid at the time, he's probably like 12. He was like looking behind him and he basically ran into the hood of our car, of my stepbrother's Jeep. And
what?
And he I think it was more shock, but he kind of was in and out of consciousness. He was fine. I mean, but long story short, my stepbrother was like sobbing. I mean, I get it. Like, but the kid ran to the hood. I remember vividly seeing it. And I had to give a police report. I guess I gave two statements, like one when we're there and another one I don't even know where. But long story short, said it twice.
It's making the story long.
I wonder how many times saying long story short made the short story longer. Long story short, you've said it 100 times. Anyways, they sued my stepbrother. We had to go meet with both lawyers. And the lawyer picked apart my police report saying... So it seems like at one point you said so-and-so, the kid, was looking behind him, but then in this other report you said he was looking down. So what they're trying to like act like I didn't see what I saw and blah, blah, blah. And then the lawyers, like the defendant's lawyer or the prosecutor, whatever, the kid's lawyer, he's trying to get under my skin. And I'm like, he was looking down. It's kind of like Seinfeld where he goes.
I was just thinking about that.
The spit went down and around. Like I was like, he was looking down and to his side. And, but in that moment, like you start to question things. You're like, did I see, what did I even see? Mm-hmm. It's scary though.
It is scary.
But
No.
That's my memory. My memory's going to shit.
Well, this should help.
This is why do you ever feel like your short-term memory from drinking is just like going away?
Yes.
I don't know if it's from drinking or it's like how ADD my brain is with our phones now. Where I'm like, I'm looking at my phone and I'm like, oh, I want to go check this app. And then I see something on the app I'm currently on, which makes me forget about the thing on the other app. But I remember I wanted to look at something and I'm like, fuck, I can't remember.
I just always just click Instagram when I mean to go to Safari.
Dude.
It's just Instagram.
I do that shit all the time. You ever put just brain farts?
Yeah.
Do you ever have brain farts in like real life? I think I'm just asking you yes or no questions.
Yes.
Are you a female?
Yes. I am a female and my brain does fart.
This is just me on a first date. Do you ever have brain farts? You're like, yes. No, I'm very aware of my body and my brain like changing as I get older. Do you ever have you noticed? I mean, I for example, like I'll go like to put like the barbecue sauce away and my brain is thinking of like I gotta get salt, and then I open the salt thing and I go to and I'm like I catch myself and I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, that happens a lot.
That's the thing where I'm going to say this on this podcast and someone's going to comment like, you have blank.
No, I think everyone does it. I think we're all just doing too much these days.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, I think so. That's why we're more anxious than our parents. I've talked about this on stage where I'm like, they're like, you guys have anxiety. I'm like, yeah, because we have 19 lives we're living.
There's so many lives.
I'm like, you had 2, the one with my father and the one with that estranged man. Guess what? I got a lot of fucking lives going on with TikTok and Instagram.
Oh, man. Too many.
Craigslist.
Oh, God. Facebook Marketplace.
Being anxious is just the new thing.
We're all doing it. If you're not anxious, get it together. Pick up more hobbies. Pick up multiple jobs. Drink alcohol. Be hungover. Don't get any sleep. Cheat on your taxes, your people, your schoolwork, anything that will make you regret your life, and become anxious with us.
Do you think somebody can have anxiety disorder?
I just said all the things that'll cause it.
I don't think you can just become anxious.
I think you can do things that'll lead up to
I guess you
it.
could. You can put anxious makeup on and and then feel it for a little bit. I think their brains don't feel that way.
I think anyone could become anxious, but do you think like the people who are such free spirits can go without ever feeling that way? I don't think so. I think it's
anxiety. From what I understand about it, it's like everybody has it before, like you take a test or before a game where you get that, like basically how anxiousness feels. It like, I mean, aside from the fear element that apparently I've acquired, I'm evolving. I'm like anxious Pokemon. I'm like your boy Charizard, baby. I'm fucking at the top. But everybody feels like anxiousness in the sense of like, you know, it feels like time's shortening in a way, you know, like, so people can experience it, but it doesn't mean they have like the disorder, like whereas our brains or mine, for example, like it triggers that feeling randomly when it doesn't seem rational. Like it doesn't seem rational outside looking in or after the fact, but in the moment, like, I mean, like yesterday, like I'm clearing my throat and my brain goes, you're taking cold baths. I wonder if you got pneumonia. I'm literally like taking cold baths now. I already Googled hypothermia. I couldn't fall asleep last night because I was like, I think I have pneumonia.
Is that why you got anxious last night?
Yeah, I woke up and I started like, I was like, and then you think you feel something and then it just spirals. And then like there's a part where like, I know this is irrational. This is dumb. Nothing's wrong with me. And speaking of our phones, I scroll because it takes my mind off my thing. And I scroll till my eyes get heavy and then I fall asleep.
I bet you a lot of people scroll for that reason.
It's literally like, it's like a walkathon, but with my thumb. Scroll for anxiety. And I'm just like, and then it just slowly goes away and I'm like,
yeah.
It's crazy. Huh. But I don't want to I won't take medication for it though.
No, you don't need to. There's tons of things you can do.
Although Dave Letterman said that anxiety or depression medicine, it's like getting a new pair of glasses. It sharpens things. I was like, that sounds too polite for what I think it is.
You don't want to sharpen your anxiety.
I want to dull that bitch.
Dull it. Take it out.
All my anxiety looks like an old knife you find in a shed. You're like, what's this old shit? Like, that's my old anxiety.
We didn't need them anymore.
It used to be sharp and hurt me. Now it can't hurt shit.
But now I keep it just to show it that I own you. I don't know. I should take that back. It didn't make any sense. That wasn't good at all.
Anyways, but here we are working hard. I mean, it's easy. I think we've, learned when you have a lot of things going on, it's easy to get caught in we said the swirl.
Yes, the swirl.
Los Angeles is like a swirly ice cream sundae, but the swirl is dog shit that you don't want to be in.
The vanilla's nice.
It's like it's a tornado, and like you're like, I'm gonna get an entertainment now, and you lunge into it, and you're trying to like undo your belt, and then you go on vacation back home, and you like pop out of it, and you see all the people swirling, still trying to do things while getting hit by bills and money problems and stuff, and you're like, I was doing that. Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
And then you just realize how much none of it matters. I mean, it matters, but how much some of the things that you focus on, how much that doesn't matter.
Yeah. You ever have like, what do you think? Sometimes being really stressful, it's funny because you have times where it's like there's such a tipping point. You're like, I don't even give a fuck anymore.
Yeah.
You ever have just like a moment where you're like, there's so much bad things happening. You're like, this is kind of funny.
Yeah, you just go delirious. Well, totally.
I mean, even at work, you're just like, guess somebody's not going to have that email they're looking for. And I don't give a shit.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They can wait. I don't care.
What do you think you do to kind of like, do you think there's a way to like, or like, what would you do to almost mimic leaving LA while we're still here? To feel like you're detaching from that stuff?
When we have beach days.
That's true.
We get subs. We go down to the beach.
Staycation, baby.
Yeah.
Staycation. Italian subs are making a little bit of a comeback. I feel like it's like you see them on TikTok. You see people talking about bringing them to the beach more. I know we did it on our own.
Is that trending?
I don't know. I just feel like people, like I watched one TikTok video of these fucking losers. They always make sandwiches and they do this. The opening scene, they go like, no, they always open it like it's like the goddamn, it's the fucking thing.
Like a deck of cards? Oh, I used to love
what
those
was this game
in
called?
School. Pick a number.
What would they say? For people listening, it's the game where you fold a piece of paper. Dane Cook made a joke about it where you
really?
And then you flip the thing up. It's like, okay, pick a color, BLUE. You're up. And he says that.
I loved those. I made them all the time and I forgot all about it.
But they basically like I feel like they're like opening sandwiches. Like, I mean, we're in comedy, right? What hacky thing constantly comes up on your TikTok or your algorithm?
Hacky?
I mean, I always see just like shit. I like cooking, but it's like I'm constantly watching people make fucking sandwiches.
My whole algorithm is just haircut videos.
That's the new video I have to do.
A haircut? Or the hair one?
No, like the joke, and I've heard it like 5 times now. It's becoming like the new witch thing.
What is it?
Where the joke is some guy's complaining about his algorithm being like, dude, I'm sick of seeing all these like dudes with their like abs and black dudes with their fucking big bulges hanging out, and someone's like, that's not my algorithm, meaning like that guy's searching it and he doesn't know how to complain about. He thinks everybody's algorithm is the same.
It's just his.
But it's funny where maybe the thing is my algorithm's meeting somebody else's algorithm.
And they're the same?
No, they're like different.
Oh.
Because yours brings up what? You just said yours brings up what? Cooking videos?
No, haircut videos. And
like mine is cooking. We have very different, our algorithms are very different. Mm-hmm. So it's humorous to me to have 2 characters and be like, yeah, my algorithm's going to be here. And then like one shows up with like sports, like, let's fucking go. And then my walks in, enter comedic weird character.
And then they meet. I don't think they'd get along.
Well, that's the funny part.
Let's see it.
Yeah. You're making content now. You're becoming, she has a podcast. Check it out, Misery Loves Mandy. The backdrop might look very familiar.
Yes, it will.
Content's insane. I mean, it's so weird. Like, I remember when I was opening for Shmoosh Marinch, I don't know what to say his name. We were in Utah and somebody was talking about Andrew Schultz and like, yeah, Andrew right now, this like 5 years ago, they're like, yeah, Andrew's probably editing a clip or a video right now, which it's so funny. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like editing a video. And it's so funny, like cut to now, that's all we do.
Yeah, a lot of editing. Lots
You're
of
getting
clipping.
good though.
I've learned a lot. And he taught me how to do Photoshop, which Photoshop sucks because there's no common sense
Watch
to
your
it.
mouth.
Hey!
I start screaming.
There's no common sense to Photoshop. You can't just pop into Photoshop and be like, I'm going to use my brain and do something. You have to know the technical sides of it and how to do it. There's no guessing in Photoshop.
I mean, yeah. You're learning it.
I'm
You're
learning
getting
it.
You're getting better.
I am getting better.
So stop talking shit about
I
it.
hate it so much.
Remember that bubble of anger I talked about? You're in it now. Welcome to the mosh pit. Your athletic beast within just beats my ass. And I'm like, get out of my bubble. Get out. Content, though.
Oh, boy.
What do you like? What do you dislike? Let's hear it. What do you enjoy about making content? That's something nobody ever asks.
What do you enjoy about making content?
Yeah, why? Like people always bitch about like, oh, that this I hate posting. Why do you like doing it?
I like doing it because you get to do what you think is funny.
Next.
What?
That'll be a segment on my show called "Ask an Endearing Question." You go. Boring.
Oh.
No, why? For real though. Sorry. If you rewind when she was answering, my brain had a text bubble, and then inside of it was fart noise.
Did you even hear what I said?
No, I actually didn't. I literally was like, doing fart noise.
I swear to God, sometimes I'm talking to him and he doesn't hear anything.
I go cross-eyed when I think of fart noises.
I said the best part is that you get to make something that you think is funny.
That's great. Now, why do you hate it?
Because the algorithm hasn't gotten on my side yet.
Yeah, but at least, I mean, you're a matter of time. We've talked about these other people who just complain.
I'm not trying to complain.
No, you're not, but we're like the people who, like, they're owed something, or like, you know, we looked at so-and-so's post today and you're like, what is that? It's a picture of them like shaking someone's hand. This is a game, people.
I'm in the game. I'm pivoting.
If I'm going to give any advice right now with social media, like if you're going to post photos, go ahead. Like you got to look at how you're going to use this app. Are you going to use it as a fair weather person, meaning like you post pictures and you're not playing the game is posting videos now. And if you're not going to do that, I mean, and you're going to cry about why you're not getting followers, I mean, you're kind of, the writing's on the wall.
Well, I don't like in general people who act like other people have it easier. They're owed something. Last night when you were in the shower, I was scrolling through these motivational videos. This one popped up and they did like 15 of them. I forgot what they were called. The guy had like the funniest thing I noticed at the end is this guy had like 7 likes on his inspirational videos.
That's fucked up.
On all of them. And it was just 15 in a row. But I like the ones where they're like, J.K. Rowling, it's like Harry Potter was denied like 15 times before it got picked up.
That's not the same as your dumpy video. Not you, but like these people.
No, I'm saying it is the same.
Meaning what?
Like it's just motivational to where people think like, yes, some people are handed things more easily. Some people get lucky, but most people don't. Most people get it because they worked for it. And they got,
I agree.
And they got slapped down and they got back up and down and up and down and up.
So you're saying she wrote more books?
No, she kept sending it in.
Oh, she sent. Okay, got it.
And they kept saying, this book sucks. And then she was like, it doesn't.
I mean, at that point, how do you not just call those people back and you're like, when she's just loaded beyond belief?
I don't even think she needs to call them back.
She shows up in one of the wizard robes, like, she She's like, do you want me to read the books to you again? Or?
What didn't you like?
I wish being petty was allowed. I mean, isn't it? They say don't burn bridges. You're like, I'm burning all the bridges. I don't think I've ever. Have you ever burnt a bridge? I don't think I've ever burnt a bridge. Have I burnt a bridge?
I feel like I can't imagine you not burning a bridge.
What the fuck does that mean? I would love to burn. I mean, I think...
it means you speak your mind when you need to. But you are smart, so it makes sense that you didn't. But
I can say I don't give a shit. I'm sure at some point I was like, yeah, fuck you, no. I don't give a shit. Fuck your bridge. So it was, what bridge? I'm like, you need the bridge.
One thing I've been noticing lately that I've been saying I think is so funny is how different women and men speak via text and email. Like the way he texts and emails people, if I spoke that way to a female friend, she would think I am livid with her. If I wrote thanks, no period, no exclamation mark, she'd be like, that meant thanks.
We're barbaric men.
But women, you have to go like, thanks, exclamation mark, LOL. Is that
exhausting?
It's just an extra few buttons. But like if you just, why does my hair keep doing that? But if you, the way you talk, that is not allowed. I would be like, oh my God, they're so mad at me.
One time I wrote a work email and it was using my text vernacular and I said thanks with like 5 S's to a construction guy. And I sent it and thanks. I was like, fuck. Thanks.
What did they say back?
He goes, you nasty.
Ooh.
No, I don't think they even wrote back. That's like, I feel like with dudes, I'm like, no. Although some friends, like some of my friends will text more, say write dumb shit. But like, again, that's like the common thing with like girls when a guy goes to golf with his friends and she's like, so how's so-and-so? And you're like, I don't know. I didn't ask. I mean, we don't ask, like, we don't get deep. We're like trash on the top of the water. We bump into each other when we do stuff. Girls are like these swans who like, these like sea otters who like mingle in the water. That's a good thing.
I've been told that I look like a sea otter.
Really?
That we all gave each other animals in high school.
She always takes baths and plays with her belly as she floats on her back.
Yeah, I got sea otter as my animal in high school. Yeah.
I got fucking squirrel.
Squirrel.
I think I was born. You ever remember going to Chinese restaurants? You see what animal was your year?
Oh yeah, I forgot what mine was.
It was like some sort of, just like a varmint.
Last time we got Chinese food, I forgot what it. Oh yeah, now I remember what it was. But he always gets bad fortune cookies.
Yeah, one time it just said "fuck you." I was like,
mine's like, keep on pushing and all of your dreams will come true.
Mine says, suck a dick. And I'm like,
mine says, you're going to make so much money, but the person next to you is not.
Hers said, spit on the man next to you. She went,
you know, I've never been a good spitter. I remember like in like high school, boys would spit loogies and I'd be so jealous. I just never could do that.
Sorry, my chin pubes are falling out. Yeah, I think spitting, there was always like it's funny like watching my nephew now, like there's things like that are fun to learn at each age. Mm-hmm. Like remember like forever we used to spit like this. And then one day someone goes, nah, you're doing it wrong. And you go, and you like, and you like whip it with your, because forever you spit, like you put it at the tip of your mouth and you go, and you like push it like a musket.
That's what I do still.
And then you go, and you go, and you like do the tongue thing like an adult. And that was like one of like, oh, okay, that's like, we're learning little things growing up.
Now I know why I could never spit well.
How do you spit? Really? Why'd I say like, really?
Yeah, I never learned how to spit.
So what things were you talking about like learning growing up?
No, I said like I was never good at spitting. Like when all the boys would be like spitting loogies and I'd be like, I can't do that.
Remember like spitting and you spit and then it doesn't go far and it hits your chin?
Do you remember people would spit and suck it back up?
Yeah, I was never a fan of that move.
I forgot about that. I haven't thought about that in so long.
That's like disgusting.
It's really gross.
I mean, you can do it like when I eat like a sugary snack. Quote me on that. When I eat a sugary snack, I like to slurp my spit. You're like, that's a porn keyword right there.
Yeah, but you know what I'm talking about, right?
I know what you're talking about. It's like, but just, it's funny, like seeing my nephew and they're growing up and now. It's interesting, like the fads with children. You're like, and outside looking in, you're like, oh my God. You're like, were we all like that? Mm-hmm. Like every time you see the kid, it's a new thing. That's
like what they're into?
I mean, Pokemon one day. I mean, but it's like, I don't think that goes away. I think we're still, maybe we like lose track of a couple of them.
Pokemon's been holding strong for a while.
I mean, one day we're like, I want to do a podcast. And our parents are like, will you shut the hell up?
I almost didn't want to do a podcast for so long because everyone has podcasts and everyone talks about their podcast. It was like a running joke. And then I was just like, I want to have something that I have full control over.
That's smart.
And
yeah,
did it. And I love doing it.
You have full control over me.
Really?
We have like a dominatrix thing going on. My jaw hurts from wearing a ball in my mouth.
No, we just keep him in the kitchen and we call it fair.
Yeah. Would you ever spank me? What would be like okay, we're not doing that.
I think
not that I'd ever want
a lot of tequila. And it would still probably be as a joke.
She misses and falls off the bed. And I'm chained up as she's knocked out. Help.
I think everyone here now, including me, thinks he wants to be spanked.
No. In college in Boston, we did a thing where me, my 2 roommates, and like 5, 6 of our friends, maybe like 8, I don't know. 5, 6, 8, 10, I don't know. There was like a group of us where we all threw in money and we said it was mine and my other roommate's birthday. And we had strippers come up to our apartment. It was kind of a good idea. It was like a great idea. We had everybody throwing like $40, which covered getting alcohol and the strippers. It didn't cover their tips, but it covered mine and my friend's tips because we threw it together. And they said it was our birthdays. And she spanked both of us in the ass with a studded belt, and I almost cried.
With a studded belt?
It was and I was like, okay, how can this hurt? She hit me so hard, I remember just like choking up.
What?
And she goes, don't worry, honey, I'll take care of you. And I was like in pain the whole night.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So yeah, you're not spanking me.
Wait, did your friend like it?
Yeah, he came.
I figured. Was it Adam?
No, it was my buddy. Yeah. No, but yeah, it was good.
Damn. Well, I think that I have to be the last girl to hit him with a spiked belt.
Good Lord.
Did your mom ever hit you?
Yeah, all the time. No, I'm just kidding.
We don't have to get into that.
I mean, let's be honest. It was the 90s. Did I get hit like punt? No, but it's like a parent was parenting in the 90s. I think that's a perfect way to cover what was happening back then.
I agree.
I think a little nudge from a parent figure, you're already intimidated by them, was enough to kind of like they just needed to like tap you on the wrist for you to like get the picture. It's like the parent showing like, I'll cross the line.
Yeah.
This was just an appetizer.
Ooh.
You got a full course of an ass whooping coming up if you're gonna clean your fucking room.
Yeah, my room was always messy.
Yeah. Like with what?
I don't know, clothes, things.
What was a weird thing you did as a kid? You thinking about it right now? I like when people like you ask them a question like that. It's not a hard thing to think about, and you see them looking at the memory, and they're like, maybe another one will pop up right now. You're like this. The memory of running around naked. It's like Mandy. And you're like, oh
my God, where am I?
Yeah.
A weird thing that I did as a kid.
Any age.
A weird thing?
Or getting caught. Maybe it was a one-time thing. Embarrassed. I mean,
I'm trying to think. I think you suppressed those.
You're trying to think of the least embarrassing one to say on live.
I'm trying to think
Matty
of
Chymbor live. Here's our Patreon. No,
yeah, I don't know. I'll have to dig for that. What was something you did?
one time I got caught. I was playing video games in my room, and I swear to God, the bathroom with the upstairs. It was like one, smaller house. You walk up the stairs. There's a bedroom to the right, bedroom to the left. Bathroom was straight ahead. I mean, it was that small, or straightforward for that matter. And our bathroom was like right in the middle. My bedroom's to the left, and I'd play video games. And one time, I just didn't want to leave the room to piss. So I pissed in a Light Bright. Do you remember Light Brights?
Yeah, of course.
Where you kept all the pegs. It was like a Cool Whip container. And I peed in it. I peed in it. And then I remember, like, it's funny, like being a kid, you're like, well, my mom's not going to find this if I put it behind the lamp.
She's going to find it.
And she was like, did you piss in the Light Bright thing? And it's funny as a kid, you're just like, it's. You just have this like real puzzle. You're like, I don't think so. She's like, no, this was like a rhetorical question. She's like, I know you pissed in it. I'm like, I don't think I could have done that. She's like, I know you could have done that.
The bathroom's right there. I would definitely have just used the bathroom.
I'm like, was it the cat? And she's like, I don't think it was the cat. I think you put your little penis on piss in the Light Brights.
Man, you thought of one quick.
Yeah.
I guess I was just pretty normal.
It's fun. Something about like being a kid, you think your parents don't know the house better than you do.
Yeah, that's
Isn't
very
it a
true.
bizarre thing where you're like, well, if I hide it behind the couch, my mom who cleans this whole place would never find it. We got caught drinking once because my brother-in-law, at the time he bought all of us, Josh bought us all alcohol. Just blasting him on here. And we got all fucked up in our old backyard. We just threw the cans and all the bottles like into the woods, which is slightly down a hill. And we're like, well, they're not going to find that. And then it was like 6 a.m. And I'm like, I should probably go pick those up.
Yeah, that's a bad spot. They definitely find it.
This one time, though, we got caught. It was the internet was new. AOL was out. There was no adult restrictions yet. And me and my stepbrother downloaded a Simpsons porno. And like it was just a picture. It was porn.
What?
It was 90s internet porn. It was just photos.
Simpsons,
yeah. And what's it called? We printed it out, and I was like, we got to get rid of this. And then we had an old piano in the basement, and we stuck it in like behind the piano, like in the body.
Oh my God.
And I was like, well, they're not going to find this. And I just imagine my mom going to play like fucking some Shania Twain song. It don't bing.
Did your mom know to play the piano?
Yeah.
Wow.
Remember I told you my first memory of realizing I think I understand double entendres and joke writing is my mom was playing the piano in our basement, and I went to the top of the stairs. I was like, I'll say 4, I think 5, I don't know. And it was loud. I was trying to watch cartoons, and I go, cut out that damn racket. And then I threw a tennis racket down the stairs.
I remember
and to this
that
day,
now.
I was like, that was a funny joke.
It is good.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, meant to be a comedian.
I know. It's still a little bit struggling. Anyways, what are we at? I'm not used to doing podcasts this long.
How long is it?
First off, we ran out of a beer in the first 3 minutes.
I told you I should have done wine. I told you.
That don't impress me much.
Been messing with my hair this whole time because I just didn't put my headphones on right.
You're fine. Don't worry about it. It doesn't feel like a Friday.
It kind of did all day until night.
Yeah.
Does that make any sense?
Well, I'm interviewing my girlfriend, and we're not done yet, but I want to let them know fun things that we do together. I mean, one thing I just realized is we have this fun little activity where we collaborate on nail colors.
Oh, yes.
I'm an artistic man. Wherever the color is, I have an input. And if you think it's weird that I pick out my girlfriend's nail colors, you can come find me and we'll throw down.
Yeah,
anyways.
and I won't because my nails look good.
But they always look good. I mean, it's fun. I mean, I think every couple, and I've said this, the best part about having a girlfriend is being able to do gay things. We get to pick out nail colors. Mm-hmm. I get to say things after we eat food like,
But look at butterflies.
Yeah, she spanks me. Anyways.
No, I love it because I always overthink it. And girls can relate. It is such a hard choice because you're stuck with it for 3 to 4 weeks.
And what's wrong with having a collaborator? In college, I took a course called Color Theory. Mm-hmm. So, and it was a painting class. So why not put money to good use?
And I typically, before Matthew here, I I typically would just do red or like this baby blue, boring colors.
She had no vision.
I was scared to go wild.
I'm the Rick Rubin of nails. Do you know who that is?
No.
He's a big bearded white guy who helps like a bunch of rappers and artists with their music. He's not even a musician, but he just helps them creatively, develop things. So
Well, it's perfect because you don't have nails.
I'm the nails Rick Rubin.
Yep. And we've had a lot. I've taken pictures of all of them. We've had a lot of winners.
But it's good because I think how we approach nails is how we start to approach videos. And sometimes you think like, oh, what would other people like? But you're like, no, what is going on around me? What's happening? What season is it? How do I feel? We know summer's around the corner. We sometimes use her nails as like a groundhog effect where it's like we use them to draw the heat in the weather.
Oh,
that's a spring. That's a fun summer spring color.
Mm-hmm. And who went to the pool today? We did.
You were wearing full black and sweatpants and long pants, and I was in a tanning oil. So
it was a little different, but we were just going up for 20 minutes, and I didn't.
Where are you, emo girl at the pool?
I thought there'd be some shade to sit in. I was doing stuff.
She touched the water and went.
That's not true at all.
I know.
I love the water.
It was good though.
Yeah.
But it's fun doing relationship things. Mm-hmm. So all you fucking single weirdos who are scared to just lock down the girl you've had interest in, I mean, just do it.
Do it.
You get to make yummy treats. I surprise her and try to make single cookies for some reason.
It's fun. I would never make little things like that because I'm like, which is so smart.
But I think it's also a symptom of my mental disorder where it'll be like 11 o'clock. We're sitting on the couch and then I just get up and you hear me whisking a bowl. You're like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm making one cookie. Now
it's normal. But when we first started dating, I'd be like on the couch and I would just hear like a bowl. Like I'd be like, I was sleeping.
You hear me? You're like, what are you doing? Like, I'm whisking butter. What the fuck are you doing?
And it's always good though. I don't think you've ever made anything that was not delicious.
Okay, let's stop the podcast right now.
No, he's the best cook ever.
There's been things that we've had where we're like, what was the worst thing I've made? Let's try to think.
I'm trying to think.
We all make good things. I mean, I don't want to say worst thing. Like today, I thought the chicken was a little saltier than I'd.
Really?
A little bit, yeah.
Oh, I loved it, and I hate salty.
But I
I wish I could think of something. Oh, a bowl. It was a bowl of some sort. You were trying to copy something from those sheets. Shrimp.
Oh yeah, we made that shrimp bullshit, and it just wasn't good.
Is that what it?
Making bad food's the worst.
That's the only thing I think you ever made that wasn't that good. But it was still good. You were just very upset about it.
Yeah. That's one thing I would quit comedy to be a chef. I don't think I would. I don't like how straightforward being a chef is like being a comedian, I guess. Mm-hmm. I always say, I tell people, and I don't know, like, why did you get into stand-up? Like, outside of making people laugh, like, what, is there another reason?
This is always like sounds weird, but there's no way to explain it. I always wanted to do it, and there was no other ever even option or choice, or it was just like, I'm going to do stand-up. I'm going to do comedy because I always liked SNL. And that's why I got my business degree because I wanted to do comedy, and I just had to get college out of the way to comedy classes on the side while in college, and I just went to do it. It's just like, I guess it sounds cheesy, but it was my calling.
Yeah, it's cheesy. Thanks for listening.
I was waiting for the...
No. Like, I think why with stand-up and shit, I'm like, oh man, I like... Stand-up is why I like the same reason I like cooking. I think stand-up's more fun. But like, I like when and that's why I did architecture. There's there's ingredients, whether they're actual food ingredients or words or parts of a building. And I like being able to put them together how I want, and then presenting that.
In that sense.
And any creative thing. So that's why sometimes I'm like, do I like stand-up's the most fun? It's definitely, and I realize with myself, the more challenging of the things I go towards more because I'm stubborn and want to figure it out. So sometimes I'm like, I don't know if I like stand-up more than like other shit. I just know it's the harder one. It's more fun, and I think you become more well-rounded doing it. But I'm like, I just like taking these things and putting them together.
Oh.
And painting her nails.
And painting my nails and cooking me all the food.
Yeah.
What are we at?
56. How do people do podcasts for 3 fucking hours?
Do the people do podcasts for 3 hours?
I mean, Joe Rogan does that shit. That's like too much.
That's Joe Rogan.
I'm sick of fucking like show off. Like, I don't want to say a show off. I know they're having fun, and it's different when you have like a computer going. I can't stand current event shit though. Like, we watch the news in the morning when we drink coffee, and I'm like, this is the fucking. I mean, it's like a very common thing, but like, it's depressing.
It is typically depressing. Hey,
You love the KTLA shit though.
I love KTLA.
She's like, they're fun, and then like 4-year-old gets shot.
No,
and I'm like,
they're typically super, super fun.
Yeah.
And then sometimes they have to bring in the bad. But it's topical.
Bring in the bad.
It's topical we could talk about?
What?
Beef. We
Uh,
just finished Beef.
Ali Wong show. Yeah. It was fun to watch. I mean, once you get halfway through, I finish watching shows because I'm just stubborn. Mm-hmm. But I felt very like White Lotus vibe. And for the fact that it was bizarre, but it's like you're kind of just waiting around for a long time. I mean, yeah, some shit happened earlier on that strung you, so I think they were better at that. But I mean, there's just random parts. I hate to be like a critic this hard, but I don't know. Like, what do you think?
I loved it, but we totally got
good cop, bad cop. I'm like, that's fine. She's I fucking loved it.
You're so right with all the things we talked about. Like, how like the first 5 episodes were just the show. And then the second 5 episodes, there was like this witch face that she saw that came out of nowhere. That was only for the 1 episode.
Right.
The crows talking, just some random shit. But I thought it was pretty comical and weird that they did that.
Yeah.
But it definitely came out of nowhere because the first 5 episodes, nothing was like that.
And it was not even a full episode. It was like parts of it, and you're like, what the fuck is this? It's like they just had that witch face, and they're like, let's just throw it in here. that one in particular episode seemed like the odd man out of like, what? I mean, I get the flashbacks that try to set up these characters better, but you're like, I don't understand. Like, you went too far. You didn't have to even do that.
I forgot what it's called, but there is a name for that one episode in a series.
Boring.
No, there is a name for like an episode that cannot match the whole rest of it. It's just like kind of a different style. And I think it was season 1 of Barry, that there's this one episode and it was so weird. And that's how I learned what that was about, because I was like, Barry's not like this.
Yeah.
I'll look it up later.
I don't know. Maybe I'm too just like, that's like, maybe somebody who artsy is like, oh, I loved how they did that.
I'm sure. It was definitely.
I thought it was weird. It was like, okay, to extend an olive branch. I'm like, it just threw me off. And I'm like, what the fuck was that? And then I think that episode in particular ended weird. And then like even the ending was like that whole, I don't want to spoil it. I mean, but it's like the woods scene. Like, I was just like, okay, I feel like you crammed a lot into a little bit. The drug thing, I mean, that was just like that last like episode. I was like, I was like, this is annoying. We both looked at each other like, this is kind of annoying.
It went for a while,
but I mean, I think for what it is, it was fine.
I would say watch it. It's trending. It's like the top trending show right now. But I would say watch it if you're okay with it getting weird and like one of those shows that piss you off and you can't stop watching, and then in the end you feel super weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I say White Lotus vibes for sure.
Definitely. It's those shows I just want to hold out to the end. But anyways, Mandy, thank you for being on my podcast.
Oh, thank
my
you for
first
having
guest
me.
ever.
Wow.
I mean,
I feel so special.
It's a big milestone. I think it's a learning curve. I think
you did great.
I think the conversation is good. I mean, people, if you're going to watch real-time critiquing, going into this, I've never interviewed, or I don't want to call it an interview, but I've never led the conversation. I feel like I've been guest on a bunch of podcasts. So being in the helm and, driving the friggin' boat, we hit a couple rocks. I mean, I did, and you helped me kind of pull the rudder out of the shit, and, it's a learning curve. So, but I think for what it was,
they got to know who my girlfriend is.
Wow. Thank you guys for getting to know me.
Drive safe. What if a car just came through the wall right now?
I hope you're not driving right now.
It's just the ending scene of Beef. All right.
Bye.